Hi everyone, it's Liam here from Rating the Races. The racing, or the main part of racing, is just about finished, so I thought I'd do a quick review, highlight a few that I'm still interested in going forward, some that I'm really not, and what could happen next weekend, for example. So the first race, the Rendlesham Hurdle, was won by Wakul, just running down Itchy Feet. Both of those are in the Potemps final. They're likely to go up a few pounds for that. The horse who made he may stay on the same mark, he may drop a pound, is Ashtown Lad, and I think he's the one I'm most interested in there going forward for the Potemps final. I've already highlighted him for the race after he finished second to Glimpse of Gala. I'd still be most keen on him. I think a couple of years ago Third Wind ruined his chance. Third Wind ruined his chance after winning this race, and then the following year went and won it after finishing third in this race. Now, interestingly, Ashdown Lad has gone from Warwick, where he qualified, or he'd already qualified, sorry, but he's gone from Warwick to Haydock, where he finished third, to hopefully running in the Potemps final. Ashdown Lad has gone from Warwick to Haydock, where he finished third, to hopefully running in the Potemps final. Did I not just say him? I don't know which order I said that. Basically, he's done exactly the same for the last two runs as Third Wind did the year before when winning. So definitely Ashdown Lad is still one I like for the Potemps final. Of those behind our selection in the race, Ern River was very disappointing. He jumped very poorly. It probably needs to go back over fences, but I don't know where I'd be going with him if I was his owner, and he's not one that I'll be following anytime soon. Moving on to the Swindle Chase, great result for us. We had Captain Orr who won. We've also got Captain Orr in a double with Kitty's Light next week, and Kitty's Light, believe it or not, for a Ida chase where there's likely to be, I don't know, 10, 12, 14 runners in it, is as short as 5 to 2 at Sky Bet for that race. I really think he wins as well. Captain Orr is probably going to run under a penalty in the Kempton race. I'll have to have a look at that, but even under a penalty, I think Captain Orr could go very, very close there if today hasn't taken its mark. I don't think it really has. In terms of the race behind, who was interesting, I'll just be looking into Revels Hill, and I'll give you more on that on Tuesday on our handicap analysis review. Just wondering whether Revels Hill might want a bit further and may do even better over further, potentially finished fourth last time at Sandown, over 3.5. Maybe that's where they're going next time for that 3.5, 3 mile 5 Bet365 Gold Cup with Revels Hill, but I'll let you know more about that on Tuesday. But in terms of Captain Orr, was a great result, and hopefully the double can come off. Go to Haydock. A bit surprised here that Quick Wave and Cloudy Glen ran so well, considering they're already in the Grand National. Maybe this was their number one. Obviously, Vini's got a good record in this race. Our selection, Time to Get Up, he ran okay, but just doesn't look the horse he was, and I probably won't be backing him again anytime soon. Ascot Irish Hill won it for Paul Nicholls. He had the first and third. Zoffany Bay, after a long layoff, ran a great race for second. Now, our 50 ball went forward, made the running, which he's never done before, and ended up finishing 12th. He's now, therefore, pulled up and finished 12th on his last two runs. I want to give him one more chance in the Imperial Cup. His form at Sandown's good. He's finished first, second and third there. He has got 2 mile form. You know, he was second in a Betfair Hurdle a couple of years ago. He's going to drop in the weights for this and go down in the handicap. And you know, he could be right near the bottom of the Imperial Cup handicap. Before the race, they spoke to Gary Moore and said, do you know why the money's come for him today? And he just replied no, which was very strange, considering he'd arguably got some of the best form in the race and looked well handicapped. As I said, they went forward, which was a strange decision. I know Gary Moore suggested there was no pace, but I just wonder whether they went forward to make sure, he ran a race, but didn't run to his best, and he's going to drop in the handicap. So keep an eye on him, and the Imperial Cup is the race that I think they go for. This race today was worth 26. The Imperial Cup is worth, I think, 56 or 58. If you sacrifice this race for the Imperial Cup, I'm sure Connections will be delighted. The Kingwell Hurdle was won by I Like to Move It. Very impressive. Well clear of Nappers Hill on First Street. Obviously, that means Gin Coco is going to go even shorter for the county hurdle. Let's have a quick look on my other screen what he is. Gin Coco finished second to I Like to Move It in the Greatwood Hurdle earlier this season. Where is it? I didn't even know. Here it is. Gin Coco is now a big price still. I thought Gin Coco was nearly favourite. 14s, 16s, 20s. Hasn't run since finishing second in the Greatwood Hurdle. The horse that I was watching this race with in mind. I Like to Move It's probably going to be rated about 155, which is £17 higher than when finishing second in the Betfair Hurdle. First Street ran today off a £11 higher mark than when finishing third in the Betfair Hurdle. The winner of that Betfair Hurdle, Glory and Fortune, is currently rated £1 higher. Second and third have done well. The winner is only £1 higher. Ran fifth in a champion hurdle last year. Surely going to run a big race in the county hurdle himself. If I was looking at Gin Coco or Glory and Fortune, I think I'd go Glory and Fortune. Especially as, if I can just Glory and Fortune is 25 to 1. I don't think that's a bad bet at all. Moving on to Haydock for the Pertemps qualifier. Mill Green did his job, got himself qualified. Party Business, they'll be disappointed with that. Finishing fifth, the idea would have been to finish in the top four. Girash ran no sort of race, disappointing, pulled up. Are any of those going to win the Pertemps final? Well, Mill Green's the one that's interesting. Will get in, finished third in it last year, probably around the same mark this year. And the final race that was just won by Shishkin, very impressive, beating Pictori and Fakadoudouri. The only thing I would say, Fakadoudouri only just beat 2 for Gold in this race last year. 2 for Gold is a grade 2, maybe grade 3 horse. Pictori is a grade 2 horse. Shishkin, it's, only had to be a grade 1 horse to win this, which he did. He's proven that he likes Ascot as well, whereas I think Fakadoudouri doesn't, despite winning that race last year. Shishkin has obviously beaten a Nergamin Ascot, so the track was never going to be an issue. I think it's ridiculous, all the amount of tweets coming out saying, stepping up to the Gold Cup. He's a doubt for a 2 mile 5 race, having never gone over 2 further than 2. He actually ran in Sydney Banks, didn't he? 2 mile 3. Now they're talking like Gold Cup, 3 mile 2. That's just ridiculous. He runs in the Ryanair. It's as simple as that. All these tweets, polls and attention-seeking tweets asking for, likes about races for the Gold Cup are just ridiculous. It was a good performance from Shishkin, and he's surely going to run well in a Ryanair. But, I'll just get annoyed with tweets that are just pointless. Shishkin, 11 to 10, 5 to 4, 11 to 8 for the Ryanair now. Wow. Just the quick review. In terms of who I'm interested in, then therefore going forward. Ashdown Lad definitely in the Pertemps final. Captain Or next week, Kitty's Light next week. I'll keep an eye on Revels Hill and tell you more about that on Tuesday. Nothing from the Grand National Trial. 50 Ball, don't give up on him. Give him one more go in the Imperial Cup. Wincanton probably gives me a little bit more confidence in Glory and Fortune for the County Hurdle. Nothing from the Pertemps qualifier. And Shishkin runs in the Ryanair and goes really well.